Welcome. We are back. This is the Bird's Eye View. I'm the War Duck, and that is the lovely Mr. Krow.
Hey, everybody.
Figure out what's that.
I'm over there. I'm to your left, not your right.
Okay. So, I found this. This is something more personal to me because of my experiences gaming and stuff. And Fallout is coming out with a TV series on Amazon.
Yep.
And
I know it's dear to you, but it still means something to me. I'm still very interested. We'll get into more details of why Duck likes it a lot more.
Yeah,
Why
okay.
this means
So the first thing I want to do, because it's a show and they put out a trailer, let's just watch the trailer. I want to kind of just watch it. This it'll probably get demonetized, but whatever, who cares, right? So
most likely it will.
Yeah, they'll be like, "Oh, I copied it." But here we go. It's 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So
I was gonna say there's so many other channels that are doing it too.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
I know that I've lived a relatively comfortable life.
Stop! Lucy! You need to go home.
Okay. We'll do 30 seconds at a time, and hopefully that's short enough to break it up. So, what we've seen so far is her leaving Vault 33.
33.
And this is obviously based in California. That looked to be the Santa Monica Pier, is what we've seen so far. It looks like they have control of their vault, and they're opening it just for her to leave is kind of what I've gotten so far. Because they were kind of like, don't go, in the background.
Yeah.
So, and the lead character is obviously this female lady. We don't know anything about her yet, but let's see what else we got in the next 30-second clip here.
Dwellers are an endangered species.
Brad Roach.
I do not think you would be willing to do what it takes to survive up
She's
here.
scared of a tumbleweed. That's not good.
If you insist on staying, then you will have to adapt.
I've never heard of fast.
Okay, so that's the next 30 seconds. Okay, so we got to see a rad roach. We got to see her scared of a tumbleweed. There was obviously a ship in the sand, and it looks like the ocean maybe has receded quite a bit. What else was there in that clip that we saw? So the writers of this show are a husband and wife team. I guess they're a family. A husband and wife team that wrote Westworld.
Westworld. Okay, I've heard of that, but it's not ringing a bell.
The producers, I think, what were the two shows that they did?
Okay.
What were the two shows? Fast something or other. Oh, The Boys. Okay, I've seen The Boys. Then Fast Delivery. I'd never heard of that.
I've never heard of Fast Delivery. Fast Boys, or isn't it Bad Boys, not Fast Boys? Yeah, I've definitely heard of that one.
Yeah, so The Boys is the superhero one.
Amazon's, yep.
And Fast Delivery, I've never heard of that. Whatever. All right. So and then at minute 1, we get this rotary helicopter thing, and I think this is where they introduce Brothers of Steel, the Brotherhood of Steel. Sorry. To see tomorrow, unless I see it with. There's the power armor.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, so they say, will be a lovely day. A bright new sun will suddenly break through.
Sure.
But I don't want to.
Okay, here's my man Groggins. He played in what was that with Oliphant? The quick draw. Ah, damn, what was that? I first saw him in the. He played with Timothy Oliphant. He was the bad guy, and Timothy Oliphant was a cop. Damn, I can't. All of a sudden, it's just right there. I like the show. Anyway, I ran across him there in another series. I've always liked him as a character. He's been in several other things. Now
You said that was Walton Goggins, right?
Yeah, Groggins. Yeah.
I heard and quickly ran into him, but Django, Hateful Eight.
Before that.
Yeah, there's quite a bit. He's in quite a bit of,
Yeah,
and some good stuff
It
too.
was a TV show. It was a series that ran like 6 or 7 seasons. I really enjoyed it. It was on FX. Anyway, yeah, he's in a lot of stuff. I really like him as an actor. And so now apparently he is a ghoul. And he is so, like, I think what they said is he's the only one that was there before the bomb went off. And so he's been in LA for like 200 years as of this point.
Jeez. Okay.
So
Okay, I didn't know this actor. Okay.
was that?
I didn't know that actor. I love the make. I mean, the makeup and everything looks good.
I see it with you.
I grabbed a moldy one.
Okay. We've seen lots of monsters so far. We saw a rad bear.
That have fingers in its mouth. It looked like some of them look like fingers.
Yeah. So I'm a little worried at this point. Like, I was good up until now. Like, I've seen some of the combat footage stuff. Is I hope they don't take this too far and just go to the comic relief side of the combat and have it look totally fake and unrealistic and stuff, because I don't know, like the guy and the dog running and it's just a minigun and the minigun can't hit him is gonna that I hope they don't do too much of that stuff, because that takes away from everything else they've done.
The story, yeah, because they've done a lot. This looks good.
Yeah,
I mean,
it looks really good so far. That's so far of this. That's my only real critique, is the gun fighting. The combat stuff looked a little wishy-washy. So
I'm hoping. I'm seeing some of this stuff, and it's been a long time since we first were introduced to The Walking Dead. Remember when it first came out?
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, it's so gruesome. Oh, it's so realistic. It's so like they spent so much time and money on effects that it's become the standard, and they are upkeeping the standard. It's looking good, and that I have high hopes. I hope that
it doesn't look overly fake.
Exactly.
And
It
so
looks
and
good.
then the other part that was this lady with the gun, and just like she's not even aiming at anything, she's just like fighting, or she's just like shooting. Yeah, those do look like fingers.
Some of those look like fingers. Some I was like,
so that whole like, I hope they just don't do too much of that, because it's like, what was she doing?
you
Like,
lose it.
right? Like, all right,
Yeah.
all right. So like a big blimp thingy. I don't even know what the hell that is. So, all right, here we go. Okay, so it looks like they're gonna do some flashback stuff where they show Grogan's back before the bombs. They're gonna show the actual bomb, you know, the fallout part, the whole bombs being dropped. And so supposedly, because this show is canon, this takes place 9 years after Fallout 4.
Okay.
So all the history, all the way up through Fallout 4, is part of the history of this TV series show. And this is 9 years after whatever happened in Fallout 4.
So, but it does not continue any of the, or it's built on, like you're saying, it's built on the history of, or the storyline of what's already put in place. It's telling its own story.
Yeah, it's in the Fallout world.
Yep. Okay.
But it is its own unique experience. Like, call it, if this was a game, it would be Fallout 5, right?
Okay.
We don't know what's going to happen. It's not anything that's continuing on a story that happened before. They're going to tell their own new story in Los Angeles. So
I'm just curious, and you may not know the answer. Maybe we look it up or something, or maybe somebody in the audience can answer this in the comments. I know like The Walking Dead has its own story, its own book, its comics, and everything, and things are moving on. Does Fallout have that too?
yeah.
Do they have like okay, so they do. They have their own storylines, and does it follow along any of those? Is it using one of those?
No. And then
It's
see
its
the
own.
thing, yeah, because the thing about Fallout is as a game, right? Just as a game itself, you're this one guy with a end goal, the reason you're out moving about. But with it being an open world, there's like 500 side quests that sidetrack you, and so your experience will never be the same as somebody else's, because you may run into something early and it was way harder than something later, or you got in a fight and killed somebody that was part of a quest later on, or you just missed this whole section of something because you just never went over there, or things. And so the games themselves are like kind of a unique experience on their own. There would be no way in hell to film that and make it true to somebody else's experience, right? There would only be the one part of the storyline, like you woke up out of the vault and, you know, and whatever, right? That's kind of
That's
whole
kind of
thing.
how they started anyway.
Yeah, like for instance, Fallout 4, right? You wake up and your kid and your wife have been kidnapped out of the pod, and so you are in search of them. And then you go out and then you just get sidetracked all over the place, and it takes you 200 hours to get to the whole thing that you were trying to get to from the beginning.
Interesting.
So
All
with
right.
this is we don't know what set her out yet.
Okay.
But I imagine a lot of this, like if I was going to write like a Fallout movie, right, or a show, right, it would be, well, she goes out in the world to do this one thing, and then she meets somebody and they want her help to do this, and then she meets somebody else and they want her help to do this, and then and she's like, yeah, but I need to go. Okay, I'll help you, and you know, and then like you're all over, and then you happen to run into parts of your quest line that you were like, oh wait a minute, you know, and then. So that's kind of how I think it might go, because that seems like the Fallout schizophrenia of how you can't follow your quest line because there's always something else interrupting you.
A side quest.
Yeah, there's always a side quest, or there's always something else that you're running into, and it's just it's very. I mean, because every time you find a new place, right, it's like, oh, and there's a chance to run into something new there, or a new mystery or something, and then you're like, well, since I'm already here, I might as well, you know, look at it and
Makes
stuff. And or you know, you walk into a building and everybody's there is getting shot at, and you just run right into the middle of a firefight on accident, and then like they're like, hey, help us, and you're like, oh, okay, oh, you know, and it's just the world of Fallout that as it is. It's always pulling you in different directions. I imagine that's kind of going to be what this is, which would allow them to drag this series out for like
years.
Yeah, years and years, because you could just never. I mean, even if you had her meet her original goal, right? There's always some new side quest, and every new side quest could be a season in itself, to be honest. So
I could see that. I could see that. And that would be annoying though. I hate how they some, but yet I look back at the old TVs, the old TV series that we used to watch, and it would get old real quick if like every week is a side quest, and it's like, I'm like, can't you keep moving? Like,
well,
tell them no
I don't know.
sometimes.
See, I think the part of it is exploring California, right? Like, it might just be LA, likely because of the way they do it is likely just Los Angeles, but I don't know. It can be very interesting. Oh, he was in Sons of Anarchy. Justified.
Oh, okay,
that
okay.
was the show that I really remember him from. It's Justified.
Justified. Okay.
With Timothy Oliphant. Okay. So this is supposed to release in April of 2024. Nice. So just 5 months away.
Yeah.
And Groggins is a 200-year-old bounty hunter that was turned into a ghoul by the Fallout.
Okay. And you were saying what? He's probably the only one, or is?
I'm guessing he's probably the only one that's been alive that long. There might be other ghouls that have been around a long time, but I don't know. Like it says he's referring to his pre-nuclear Fallout life when the ghoul was known as Cooper Howard. That was his original name.
Okay.
And so so he's gonna have that, that look from beginning and how it's changed and over the last couple hundred years, 270 years, because he was probably 30-ish when it happened or whatever.
Interesting.
So let's see. So this is how the Westworld masterminds Lisa Joy and Jonathan Nolan intended to bring the world of Wasteland to Amazon Prime Video. Oh, maybe they're not husband and wife. I thought they were husband and wife, but they're a duo nonetheless.
This is pretty cool though. I'm excited for it. It's one thing I wanted to bring up. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
It says, rather than directly lifting the plot from one of the other Fallout games, the series will follow Lucy, Ella Purnell, a vault dweller forced to the surface to explore the new world, along with Maximus, a member of the Brotherhood of Steel, and the ghoul Walter Groggins, a gunslinging mutant bounty hunter. So she was forced to the surface to explore, but we don't know why. That'll come later. It says the plot will be completely different from the games. A lot of pitches, this is the movie of Fallout 3, Fallout 4 game director. Okay. I was like, yeah, we told those stories. I don't have a lot of interest in seeing those translated. I'm interested in someone telling a unique Fallout story, treat it like a game. It gives the creators of the series their own playground to play in. So there you go. So
interesting. Okay.
Lots of side quests.
Yeah, you're gonna have lots of side quests. I'm happy. I'm excited for it. I just hope they don't drag it on too far.
Yeah, I hope they like she's walking around picking everything up and then running out of room and getting overweight and having to drop stuff, because I'm a chronic at doing that in these games, because like you go and sell it for money so you can buy better guns and stuff like that. I mean, little funny stuff like that.
I look at some of the Walking Dead or those stories where you're just like, oh come on, this episode was so lame.
Yeah,
it's more of the storyline, and I guess I just lose it on some of those.
And that's the thing, is I do hope with Fallout that they do that they keep it moving. Yeah,
that's what I'm hoping.
Whether you have 10 seasons or 10 episodes and it's 10 side quests, I don't really care, but just don't drag it out like one whole episode is just them walking and talking the whole time as they get somewhere. That's it's like, okay.
That's yes.
Yeah, I fully agree with that. But
I'm hoping that they have some good. Yeah, I hope the storyline is really good.
so they got the one girl Lucy. They have Maximus Brother Steel or Brotherhood of Steel, and they have Walter Goggins. Sounds like those three are palling around together, even though they could do completely three separate stories within the game. But likely Lucy is the focal point, being the Vault Dweller. So they'll probably just be her companions on whatever this turns out to be. So interesting.
It seems like I don't know. I like this one of the links that you shared with me. They're like they're starting to find out that some of the video games are making some good entertainment. You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they mentioned The Last of Us. They mentioned
Eh,
I haven't seen this
I'm not
one at all, but
I could
Twisted
care less
Metal.
about Last of Us. I did watch Twisted Metal.
Yeah,
I thought it was all right. It was
I
fun.
haven't watched The Last of Us. I haven't watched Twisted Metal.
And that's the one thing about this that worries me is when you watch Twisted Metal, it is a vehicle combat game, right? So like they did kind of play on that outer extension of reality.
Okay.
But it wasn't so bad that it was like completely unbelievable.
Okay.
Right? And I just hope that Fallout kind of just because in Fallout there's a lot of satire and flat jokes and things and the nature of the game, right?
Yeah, it has its own, yeah.
And I hope they touch on it but don't like go overboard with
Overdo
it.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Because when Fallout Shelter came out for the mobile, I played that one quite a bit. And even that one has a little bit of satire in it.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting.
But I'm excited. I'm really glad that they went with canon and didn't try to like recreate something or bend the universe because they wanted to do something, you know, like a lot of the like that's what really killed the Witcher series. The first 2 seasons of The Witcher were fantastic, and then
Amazing.
Then the first season was fantastic. The second one was okay, and then they just killed it. Like oh, we're just gonna do our own thing. Screw canon. Screw everything that The Witcher is. It's like, come on, dude. It's like, yeah, that, and then they just killed a series that could have went on for 10 seasons. Instead, it's dead at.
I was gonna say I think
So-
that was one that they could have done really well and gone for a while, but I think they've lost a lot of especially with the lead actor leaving and so forth. It's just
But he left because they were ruining it.
left, yeah.
That's the whole thing. Is don't people watch this kind of stuff because they love the world that they experienced. People were ecstatic about The Witcher because they played the games and they got to experience the world and that guy and then Geralt. And then all of a sudden you go and just change everything and you're like, no. No. And it's like, and people would just get really upset. It's the same thing with Star Wars, right? It's exactly the same thing with, it's the same thing with Star Wars, except for they did it differently. They threw a chick in it and made it lame, like the Pandaverse says. But they started to change what it was, and then and that's part of
it. So. Tried to go away from. Gosh, I heard this, and this is another topic I think I wanted to bring up with you, so I won't go too much into it. They changed it from being entertaining to being a story. Purpose. It had a purpose in mind.
Yeah.
They had a message they wanted to share instead of trying to entertain. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's so bad. Is just leave.
It kills a lot.
Yeah.
It kills.
I don't understand why you want to what's so bad about what everybody already loved, what made it popular, that you have to change the canon. Just leave it alone. like it doesn't like Ghostbusters. It doesn't work, right? Like
Oh well, yeah. Look, they're bringing back the original cast to say,
they are.
please,
Yep.
come help it
Yep.
get back on track
So-
because we killed it.
Yeah, and it'll be canon. It's part of the canon universe where the other one, we won't even name it, is considered not. That was a reboot and it failed miserably.
Or horribly.
Yeah.
Is it really a reboot?
Well, that's what
they
you
tried
have to call it because it's not part of any of the other stuff that actually happened. So you have to call it a reboot because that's when they start over and try to change it on their own without actually consulting the original works. That's just a straight up reboot. Like Batman, right? They just keep rebooting Batman because I don't know. Batman sucks, so I don't have anything to say about that.
I was gonna say I have lots to say, but
When
that's
you
a whole nother
have
topic.
Batman beating Superman, it's just dumb, and it's just the end of it. That's all I gotta say. It's just stupid. Not to mention the fact that you made stupid fathead Affleck Batman, which is even dumber. So not only do you have a moron playing Batman, but you have a moron Batman beating Superman, which is even worse.
I think, yeah. That's a whole other, it's another topic. It just, I agree. And there's some things where I'm like, well, hold on. But yeah, there's some things where I'm like, yep, you're right. You're correct. And I hope they don't go away from, I hope that this thing of Fallout is actually more of an entertaining thing.
Yeah.
Like, I hope they really stay true to, or the character, I don't know how to say this, how they really, I hope they just stay in character and just tell their own story based on the world that they're in.
I'm really excited for it. Comes out in April, so we got 5 months left. But I'm sure we'll see a lot more in the meantime. But with that,
I'm sure
we are out here today.
Yeah.
Thank you guys
Thanks,
so much
everyone.
for hanging out.
Appreciate it. We'll see you next time.